Thanks for staying with us. Happy Children's Day once again. And without doubt, there is prevalence of immoralities among children nowadays. And the factors contributing to this menace are staring us in the face. This morning, we want to discuss what we want, some of the factors responsible for the scourge in our society, how we can tackle immoralities among children, what parents and guardians can do to stem this rising tide, curb these anomalies, prevent our children from going wayward, and tackle this scourge that is putting the future of our tomorrow's leaders in serious jeopardy. Please join the conversation and call us on 0810-7641-679 or 0902-416-3440. You can tweet us at TVC Connect using the hashtag #YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Immorality amongst our children. So there's a video we saw which is linked to this, and I would like at some points that our producers are able to play the video so that people can have an understanding of what we're talking about. Now, we saw a young girl who was probably celebrating her birthday, and she was taken to a hotel room by the boy and their friends, a group of children, and they were celebrating. There was cake on the bed, there were flowers, I love you, those kind of celebrations that we see adults do. And these kids are having a good time, clapping, hugging, kissing to celebrate their birthday. And the first thing I asked myself is, where are their parents? It's your birthday. I have teenagers, their birthday, and they are not around me for their birthday. It's not like they're in the university or they've not entered school. Their birthday, they are not in my house. I'm not the one buying the cake. I'm not the one buying the gift. I'm not the one saying I love you. And they are in a hotel room away from the house celebrating. And I can only imagine what that celebration will end with. Happy ending we follow after that celebration. What is happening to our young people? We're all parents here. We have a grandmother in the house. And I'd like us to just ask ourselves.
Point of correction, glamour.
Glamour in the house. I'd like us to look into this matter. What can we do to change this? Because it's becoming a menace.
I don't think it's becoming known. Because I think it's always been there. And I do say that while we can be celebrating Children's Day and talking about children, we should realize that they are children. What that means is their decision-making ability is still developing.
So true.
They need adult supervision.
Yeah.
And when we see this kind of behavior, it shows the lack of adult supervision. It's beyond parents alone. Yeah, we will hold parents responsible, but the room where they are in has adults at the door. And we all need to become each other's, we need to be our
keeper.
Yes, brothers keepers. We need to look out for one another. You run an hotel, you would say that this hotel cannot accommodate this type of things. I will not let it happen. No, you are not allowed to. As a society, because guess what? In developed countries, they had to create that system with drinking. You cannot have access. You can't buy alcohol unless you are 18 and above. You are not allowed to. Here, adults send their children to go and buy alcohol, buy drugs, Neighbors send children to go and buy alcohol. As in, like, we're giving unnecessary exposure because we're not taking responsibility for everybody around us. Even if you see a parent doing something wrong around their child, you as an uncle, auntie, friend, elder, neighbor should step in, because I see these children and I just see these vulnerable children that in the next 5 years, they will regret what they've done. They would wish they did not do it. They are doing things that, when I was, how old was I? I think I was like 14, 15, because I wasn't 16. I was very sure I was not 16 yet. It was Valentine's Day, and my classmate wanted to go for Valentine. And she didn't want to go and meet her boyfriend alone, mind you. I don't have boyfriend. So I was like, since they know I don't have any plan for Valentine's Day, I don't have any boyfriend. The one that have boyfriend doesn't want to do something. I didn't get it, but she kept begging me I should please come with her. Her boyfriend was take her out. And in my head, that's why I said it's not new. Because she had obviously had that boyfriend for over a year. That was their second Valentine. So they had done Valentine before, and things happened that she didn't want to happen again. So that was why she was taking me as a security. I know for a fact that down the line, she is regretting the things that happened with that boyfriend that she had at that age.
Did you play the security role well?
I did my best, but they now arranged boyfriend for me to keep me busy, and I ran away because I realized that the man had already envisaged all the case scenarios and pre-planned for it. So in my head, I looked at that, thinking about it. I couldn't have made a good decision. My own decision was to flee. It was church inside my head and my parents inside my head. But she didn't. I left her. I had to, and she will regret it. Many people regret those decisions later because they're not meant to make those decisions then. Let children be children. Let adults protect the children. Let's not blame children for the mistakes they are making. Don't look at them and say, look at this child. How can you be doing something like this? Look at the adults around that are enabling this child to behave like this, and let us call ourselves and pull our ears.
That kind of situation, Tokwe, the parents were not there. So how would you blame the parents for that kind of situation? There were no parents there now. I've shared this story before when we were kids, that I followed my friend to her boyfriend's house. I've shared it, have you?
Is it not the Chiki Peri Peri story?
No, that was Chiki Peri Peri is different. I was an adult. So we went. It was Jumoke, Boduri and I. We went. She had this boy, Bonnie, Bobby. I can't remember the boy's name. When we got there, we were sitting down. When her brother appeared like this, her older brother, because the house we went to, there were no adults there. It was just us. When the brother appeared with stick for all of us.
That's what we're saying. The elder.
That's what I'm saying. Because the brother had gotten
the info.
Information that something was about
these girls,
to go
they are
down.
going somewhere. Let me go and wait for them there. In a lot of cases, the parents don't hear. The parents don't hear. So the children are going to do what they're going to do with or without the parents' knowledge. It's mostly without the parents' knowledge, because no parent is going to say, darling, go to your boyfriend's house
for Valentine.
For Valentine.
At
Which parent is going to say
16.
that? No parent is going to really say that.
Shock you.
It will shock me, but most reasonable parents will not.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, how do we? The question we should now ask ourselves: how do we stop our kids from doing those because things. At that age their hormones are raised. Raging. That's the Igbo.
YK, you're so, when I say it will shock you is the older I've become and more I'm doing this parenting thing, or just getting to know people, is that sometimes we make this assumption that our values are the same values for everyone else. The things that you think are important for your child when your child is growing up, some people don't think that. I've seen families where they're so intentional about how their children dress, the sort of words that they say, the things that you find crude. In some homes, they use the F words with each other. Parents say to children, and it's like cool. Like if your child does not even do it, the child is not the cool child. Or if your parent does not do that, your own parents are not the cool ones. So we need to also understand as parents that don't take it for granted that your values are the same as another parent's. You have to get to know these other people. With YK, especially where I feel like at the time when you were raising your child, like there were some cultural values that were just our cultural values. Everywhere. Now with social media, with all the sort of movies we are watching, people have different values. There are some people that are watching all this love and hip hop and they have imbibed that as their values. They are living here in Lagos and they are looking at them, just misbehaving and thinking, yes, this is what we want. And their children are watching it and taking it on. But there used to be a time that we just knew what was acceptable and it was easier because we all shared the same values, that if your child is stepping out of line, another parent will see it and know that you would not accept it and correct you. But now a parent cannot, cannot step in because they'll ask you, yes, who told you that we have a problem with this in my house? We don't have a problem. So there are things that I'm seeing, and I just realized we need to be so intentional. And there used to be a time, there's something we always say here that there's also this saying in Hausa, which is you give birth to a child, you don't give birth to his habits. But I was listening to this lady Wendy Ologe, she does parenting coaching. Yes, intentional parenting. And she says that, yes, we tend to say that, but the truth is that many times how our children turn out is how we raise them. That's just the truth. Sometimes we say those things to kind of absolve ourselves from the consequences of our bad and unintentional parenting. But many times, maybe 90% of the time, how we parent our children is how they turn out. Now, this particular video that we're playing, that we've seen, it shows minors, like children. They look to me like 13, 14. 13. Yeah, 12, 13, 14. And they're in this hotel room. First of all, you're in a hotel room. An adult sitting at the reception saw a group of minors and thought it was okay to provide a space for you. And obviously, because we are coming, did you see the caption of the video? A gift from my man. I said, who is your man?
All of you are not even men yet.
Wait, do you know what that means? So they usher her into this room, and then there are minors just like them in the room, and they give her a gift or whatever, and then they get onto the bed, right? And everyone is around there hailing them and excited. Now, there'll be children there that their parents have raised them better.
Yeah.
Right?
In the mix.
Good. But they are there because of peer pressure. So, yes, there are some things that my son, who is 13, that he does or says that I'm like, this brain thing that they talk about that is not fully developed is true. Because I don't even see how you can say this, knowing how detrimental it is to you. It's not even about me. You, for your self-survival, how do you think this makes sense? So children at that age, they don't know. Yeah. Their brain does not get it. They say, have you sat with them? Just sit down with them for 30 minutes. And the ones that sounding smart, they will not say something
that shows their children
is a child. Because they say some ridiculous things. Their brains haven't matured yet. And at that age also is a time where they are almost rebelling with their family. They are going with these friends who are supposed to be the cool friends, who know what's up. And then you all find yourself there, different kinds of people. But what our parents used to hope on was that if I'm not there, if my eyes are not there, surely there's an adult somewhere who is able to stand in for me or call them aside. But we don't have that anymore because we have all decided that we all have our different values and our different...
We're chasing different
whatever.
things.
But really, as you said, Tope, it didn't start today. The children misbehaving didn't start today. But parents or adults just looking away. It has just become worse going forward.
Deal with. Yeah. Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.